Most people live their entire lives without ever realizing the power that exists inside their own minds. They wake up, go through the same routines, repeat the same thoughts, repeat the same patterns, and never once stop to ask themselves, what is truly driving me? It's as if they're sitting in the driver's seat of life with the engine running, but they don't know how to touch the wheel. And because of that, life feels like it's happening to them rather than through them. The truth is, the mind is not just something that reacts to the world. It is the unseen engine that creates the world you experience. Every outcome you've ever had, every relationship you've ever built, every opportunity you've either seized or missed, all of it has been shaped by the state of your mind. And yet, because it is invisible, because you can't touch it or see it the way you see the physical body, you underestimate its power. Think about it. Every invention that has ever changed history began in someone's mind. The plane was just an idea before it became a reality. Electricity was just a thought before it lit up cities. The devices in your pocket, the buildings you walk into, the systems that run society. All of it was first born in the unseen dimension of a human mind. But here's the part most people miss. The same creative force that was available to those people is available to you right now. The only difference is whether you are aware of it, whether you are using it consciously or unconsciously. Because whether you like it or not, your mind is always creating. The question is, are you creating what you desire, or are you letting fear, doubt, and old habits create for you? The problem is, too many people run on autopilot. They let their past experiences dictate their present decisions. They let society tell them what's possible. They let other people's opinions weigh heavier than their own inner voice. And without realizing it, they hand over the steering wheel of their lives. That's why they feel stuck. That's why they keep going in circles. It's not because they lack talent. It's not because they lack resources. It's because the engine of the mind is being programmed by default rather than by intention. You see, your mind is like fertile soil. Whatever seeds are planted in it will grow. If you plant seeds of doubt, fear, and negativity, don't be surprised if your life is filled with scarcity and limitation. But if you plant seeds of vision, belief, and determination, then over time, those seeds will grow into opportunities, growth, and abundance. The soil doesn't argue. It doesn't choose for you. It simply reflects back what you give it. And that is why so many people live in frustration, because they keep feeding their minds with weeds, but expect fruit. Now, let's make this real. How often do you pay attention to the thoughts you think daily? The average person thinks tens of thousands of thoughts each day, and yet most of them are recycled from yesterday, and the day before that, and the year before that. Thoughts like, I can't, I'm not good enough, it's too late, what if I fail? These are not just harmless whispers. These are instructions being fed into the engine of your mind, and the engine listens. It doesn't judge whether the command is good or bad, helpful or destructive. It just delivers results based on the programming. But here's the secret most people never discover. You have the power to interrupt that cycle. You have the ability to stop running on old programming and start rewriting it. You don't have to keep thinking the same thoughts. You don't have to let your past control your future. You don't have to live as a victim of your own mind when you were designed to be its master. The engine of your mind is waiting for you to take control, to direct it with clarity, with intention, with purpose. Imagine for a moment that your mind is like a powerful river. Left unchecked, it will flow wherever gravity takes it, often into places of fear, doubt, and negativity. But if you build channels, if you direct it, that same river can power cities, nourish crops, and create life. Your thoughts are that river, and you are the architect who decides where it will flow. When you begin to understand this, when you start paying attention, you realize that every thought you choose is either fueling the life you want or draining it away. This is why awareness is the first step. You can't change what you're not aware of. The moment you begin to notice your thoughts, the moment you catch yourself thinking in ways that don't serve you, that's when the shift begins. It's not about fighting the negative thoughts, it's about redirecting them. It's about saying, wait, I don't have to believe that. I can choose a different thought. And every time you make that choice, you strengthen the muscle of your mind. Just like physical training, repetition creates strength. The more you practice directing your thoughts, the more natural it becomes, until eventually your mind begins working for you instead of against you. And this is the unseen engine that separates those who live with power and those who live in defeat. Successful people, fulfilled people, empowered people are not people who never experience doubt or fear. They are people who have learned how to take control of their inner engine. They recognize that fear may come, but they don't let it drive. They understand that doubt may whisper, but they don't let it dictate. They know that the engine of the mind is too powerful to be left unattended, and so they take responsibility for it every single day. You were not created to live small. You were not given this mind, this imagination, this power of thought, just to repeat old patterns and die unfulfilled. No, you were created with the capacity to shape, to design, to create. But that only happens when you stop underestimating the unseen engine inside you and start mastering it. And when you do, life will no longer feel like something that's happening to you. It will feel like something happening through you, as if you've finally taken hold of the wheel, as if you've finally started driving the vehicle of your destiny, instead of being a passenger in it. The truth is, your mind is not just a place where thoughts come and go. It is the engine that builds your reality. And until you learn to control it, it will control you. So don't waste another day living on autopilot. Don't keep letting old programming decide your future. Step into the power that has been yours all along, and take command of the engine that drives everything. Because the day you realize the true power of your mind is the day you stop living as a victim of circumstances and start living as the creator of your destiny. If the mind is the unseen engine of your life, then belief is the fuel that powers it. And this is where so many people get trapped without even realizing it. They have a mind filled with limitless potential, but they keep pouring in the wrong kind of fuel. Instead of filling it with faith, with vision, with conviction, they fill it with doubt, with hesitation, with the fear of what could go wrong. And then they wonder why the engine sputters, why their life feels like it's stuck in the same place. But the truth is simple: your beliefs shape your reality. What you truly believe about yourself and the world around you becomes the invisible framework that your entire life is built upon. Every time you set out to achieve something, it is your beliefs that either push you forward or hold you back. Think about it. If you believe deep down that you are not capable, that you're not smart enough, not strong enough, not deserving enough, then even if opportunities stand right in front of you, you won't reach for them. You'll sabotage yourself before you even begin. But if you believe that you are capable, that you are worthy, that you are destined for more, then doors that once seemed closed will begin to open, because your energy, your actions, your very presence will carry that conviction. Belief is not just a nice idea. It is not something abstract. It is the foundation of your actions, the invisible script that directs how you show up in life. If you believe the world is against you, you will act like a victim. If you believe opportunities are everywhere, you will find them in places others overlook. If you believe your past defines you, you'll keep repeating it. But if you believe your future is greater than your past, You'll step boldly into the unknown, ready to create something new. The problem is, most of your beliefs were not chosen by you. They were handed to you. From childhood, you were programmed by parents, teachers, culture, society. Some of those beliefs were empowering, but many of them were limiting. You were told what's possible and what's not. You were told what someone like you can or cannot do. And without questioning it, you absorbed those beliefs as truth. And now, as an adult, those old beliefs are still running in the background, shaping your reality without your permission. But here is the secret that most people never discover. Beliefs are not fixed. They are not set in stone. They can be challenged. They can be replaced. You don't have to accept every belief you inherited. You have the power to examine them, to ask, does this belief serve me, or does it limit me? And the moment you begin questioning, the moment you stop treating every belief as truth and start treating it as a choice, that's when transformation begins. Look at history. Every breakthrough, every revolution, every innovation began with someone daring to believe something different from the crowd. The Wright brothers believed man could fly when everyone said it was impossible. Nelson Mandela believed in freedom even when he was imprisoned. Every great leader, every great achiever, every great thinker was fueled by belief that stretched beyond what was considered reasonable. And that belief became the spark that ignited their reality. Your life is no different. The beliefs you choose to hold will either keep you small or allow you to expand. If you keep telling yourself, this is just who I am, this is all I can ever be, then life will reflect that belief back to you again and again. But if you begin to say, I am more than my past, I am capable of growth, I am worthy of success, then you begin to attract the very opportunities that align with that vision. The outer world always mirrors the inner world. Change your beliefs, and your world begins to change with them. But let me tell you something important. Belief is not built overnight. You don't wake up one morning and magically erase every doubt. Belief is strengthened the same way muscles are, through repetition, through action, through persistence. Every time you choose to believe in yourself when it would be easier to give up, you strengthen that belief. Every time you take a step in faith, even when fear is loud, you strengthen that belief. Every time you silence the voice that says, I can't, and replace it with, I will, you are rewriting the programming of your mind. And this is where most people give up too early. They expect belief to be a feeling that comes first, but in truth, belief is something you cultivate through consistent action. You don't wait until you feel ready. You act, and through acting, you build belief. You don't wait until the doubt is gone. You move forward anyway, and in moving forward, the doubt loses its grip. Action is the proof that fuels belief, and belief fuels the engine of your mind. So let me ask you, what beliefs are you carrying right now that no longer serve you? What lies have you accepted about yourself that are keeping you small? And when will you finally decide to let them go? Because until you challenge them, until you consciously choose new beliefs that align with the future you want, you'll remain trapped in the old patterns of the past. But the moment you take ownership, the moment you say, I am no longer going to live according to these limits, I am choosing to believe something greater about myself, that's when everything shifts. Suddenly, obstacles become opportunities. Failures become lessons. Fear becomes a signal to grow rather than a reason to stop. And step by step, your beliefs begin building a reality that matches the vision in your heart. The power of the mind is unlocked through belief. It is the fuel that takes you from where you are to where you want to be. And once you understand this, once you take control of your beliefs instead of letting them control you, there is no limit to what you can achieve. Because the truth is, your life will always rise or fall to the level of your beliefs.